Now we look at some of the most notorious criminals at the ACI. In a state as small as Rhode Island, criminals become better known than they might somewhere else. Their crimes more high profile. Tonight we look at what that infamy means inside the state prison. Eyewitness News reporter Sean Daly brings us details only on 12 tonight.
How does the defendant plead?
Not guilty. These are the faces and names responsible for some of the most high-profile crimes in Rhode Island history. Todd Barry, murderer. Jeffrey Mailhot, serial murderer. And Esteban Carpio, cop killer.
We take each inmate as they come.
A.T. Wall runs the state prison in Cranston. About 3,500 inmates call this place home. Most of them live here in relative obscurity, but a select few live here in statewide infamy.
In your experience, is there a correlation between high profile and difficult to manage?
We have found that there is not. That there are some people who have committed horrendous crimes in the community, but manage to adjust fairly well to the rigors and regimen of confinement. There are others for whom the behavior on the street is an indication of the way they're going to behave when they're here.
A.T. Wall isn't allowed to talk about specific inmates, but public records show who's here and why. These are among the prison's best-known guests. Esteban Carpio, who shot and killed Providence police detective James Allen with the officer's own gun in 2005. Jeffrey Mailhot, who strangled and mutilated the bodies of 3 women in his Woonsocket apartment between 2003 and 2004. And Todd Barry, who eventually confessed to strangling and bludgeoning Victoria Cushman to death in 1989. His confession coming more than 6 years after another man, former Warwick police detective Scott Hornoff, went to prison, wrongly convicted of the killing.
There are also some inmates that we ultimately decide are better off if they are transferred to another system than our own.
Among Rhode Island's notorious criminals who are no longer locked up here, Craig Price, who's in prison in Florida after killing 4 of his Warwick neighbors as a teenager, and Christopher Hightower, who's behind bars in Illinois for murdering Barrington's Brendel family. At the state prison in Cranston with the West Bay Mobile Newsroom, Sean Daly, Eyewitness News.
And those are just some of the notorious criminals sent to the ACI. Go to WPRI.com to find the complete list and others who've been moved out of state.